In this issue of Videofashion Style, we get up close and personal with exceptional accessories, all the little extras that elevate an outfit from top to toe. Furla takes a walk on the wild side.
We were like children designing those prints with the white paper in front of us that became fully colored.
Betony Vernon gives us an intimate look at her erotic creations.
This collection is very much hinged on sexuality and sexual well-being.
Madiso and Rula Galayini showcase the future of fashion from the Middle East.
The whole concept is that it's kind of a hybrid between a jewelry piece and a handbag.
It's a double take at Krewe eyewear. Plus, Love Luha is well adorned with natural instincts.
I use the erosion of nature, the flowers, the trees, and use that within this collection.
And later, celebrate fine Italian craftsmanship at Baldinini. But first, Chloe Gosselin shows us why Hollywood is head over heels for her chic footwear.
So proud of my lady Chloe. Amazing work. The shoes themselves are incredible. The displays are amazing, and they got a bunch of magical legs across the back wall.
Well, you know, 70s has been such an important period through fashion this past few seasons. Then I look back to it and really what inspired me from that time, and definitely the work of Ozzy Clark and how he makes floral prints and geometric. So super bold colors, but a mix of denim too. So that's kind of where I started. So that's why there's a lot of flowers in the collection, that flower accessory, which is kind of the first time that I do that. But also some bold color blocking and cutouts, like some diamond cutouts. Materials definitely always been my main thing, as I use the exotics. I love to work in one color palette, but just have different mixed materials. But still, the season is more casual than usual, with a lot of suedes and different shades of suedes. And also to bring the denim in, it's really a relaxed collection, like an everyday collection. Definitely have signature details, so I have a little cut in the back of the shoe. It reminds of a snake tongue. So that kind of little detail that I bring from one season to the other, and of course some of my classic shape then I bring back in new materials.
It's amazing. We're kind of in the same business. To do magic, there's detail and hard work and collaboration with people, and then the end result's got to look effortless and flawless. And that's very much the same thing as a beautiful shoe. There's so much design challenges, and there's attention to detail, the craftsmanship is important, and of course the end result has to be beautiful.
The design process is really like when I'm in my bubble and I use watercolor and I just sketch, and so it's definitely a very relaxing time for me to design, and then after it's a bit of a puzzle to put it together.
It's a very simple collection made out of 5 styles of handbags, 5 styles of shoes, 5 styles of wallets and small leather goods. Really animated with 50 unbelievable prints that are talking about an amazing journey around the world, discovering flowers, wild animals, and interact with them. This is a summer season, there's the sun outside. We want to enjoy life and to have something that surrounds us that is a little easy and friendly. We were like children designing those prints with the white paper in front of us that became fully colored, and we discovered that we were enjoying a lot this situation. There was really a great emotion in doing that with my team, and we thought that the customer could have had the same feeling. We are an Italian brand with a very long heritage. Next year are going to be 90 years of the Furla history. We own a factory, we have our own suppliers, we have our own modelist, our own way to build the product. So that means heritage and quality. But on the other side, there's experimentation that is part of the Furla DNA, curiosity, and there's the Furla Foundation for Art that our president, Miss Giovanna Furlaneto, is taking care of, and so we are always very much connected with every form of art, and that's part of the inspiration.
The lively Paris neighborhood, Le Marais, is home to the serenely sumptuous atelier of jewelry designer and sexual anthropologist Betony Vernon. The boundary-pushing artist and author took us inside her exquisite domain for an intimate look at her erotic creations.
I coined the term sado chic in 1992 when anything that had to do with sadism or SM or kink was not considered chic. When I started to do it in 1992, it was not embraced. And I had buyers say to me, "Oh my God, you're so kinky." And I didn't really understand because I didn't categorize myself as such. But I realized that I was a little bit too ahead of the moment. And so I did it secretly. In 2001, after September 11, I decided that if I wasn't doing something that was somehow going to make the world a better place, then it didn't have much sense for me to do it because we have enough of everything. And so I decided to present this body-oriented, pleasure, sensation-oriented collection. The Paradise Found collection is about 400 designs. This collection is very much hinged on sexuality, on sexual well-being. About 20% of the jewels are actually what I call jewel tools because they don't actually go out of the boudoir. And others can go and also be worn as accessories very easily. The rings in a series that are called sensual spheres. This is an 18 karat gold, and they're actually massage pieces. They can be used basically on the entire body. If you know a little bit about pressure points, it goes right to the point. And of course, they can be also used for erotic massage. This is another piece that is in the signature collection. This is with 18K spheres, and this is with the sea pearls. And again, they have a function. They are used for sensual massage by turning them on the inside of the hand. You know? Yeah. Normally, I make rings for the middle fingers because that way it's balanced on the hand. We have more control of it, and it becomes more like a prosthetic. It's called the petting ring, and the idea is that it forces you, again, to make a gesture, which normally we see in yoga and meditation. And so something happens when you put the ring on. There's a shift that's also a mental, spiritual body shift. You know, it's all connected, mind, body, spirit. And it's also a hand job ring for men. Well, it's part of the Sado Chic series, and it has a lock on the back. So psychologically, to be locked by someone that you care about is actually a very powerful experience. It's actually connected to a piece which is called the scepter. And when you see the ring on my collections, there's always something else that can be added to it. When you see the ring, again, you know that, yes, it can just be a bracelet, but this is also part of a handcuff set, and it's also a place where I can put myriad of attachments. And this is actually a new technique that I'm working with. The metallic fringe is actually woven by a machine that is very similar to the machine that makes nylon stockings. And so it's woven fibers. In this case, it's sterling silver, which I then radiated because it is used also as a flogger. So I sort of reinvented the flogger. So this one is a piece that is a necklace. It can be worn as a choker. And because it has a little bit of a bite, you can wear it as a guillotine up very high. It can fit anyone. It's also a bracelet. It's also a little massage for striking. No? Soft areas, muscular areas of the body. It can be worn as a ring. And it can also be worn as what we call a stud. I'm always thinking about body safety, hygiene, for anything that's being used on the body or inside the body. I started to do the objects for the inside of the body in sterling silver because most of the internal tools on the market were made of rubbers and flexible plastics and things that we know today are not good for the body. So I always suggest people, no matter what they're using, unless it's silver or gold, to dress it with a condom.
Betony shares her comprehensive knowledge of the body, the bedroom, and the erotic arts in her first tome, The Boudoir Bible. Her message is one of sexual empowerment and ultimately a lesson in love.
Jewelry could be more than just an ornamentation or have a value beyond its monetary or status value. I mean, jewelry is so intimate anyway. You know, there's nothing closer to the body. And I just took it a step further. I started putting it on the body, in the body, connecting two bodies or three bodies. I want them to feel strong. I want them to feel beautiful. And I want them to feel capable of providing sensations that they couldn't provide otherwise when they're wearing my work. And lead them to be as curious as I am about the body and about enhanced pleasure and sharing. Share the love, just love.
Designers from Dubai touched down in Paris for a special presentation of top talent from the Middle East. Accessories designers like Rula Galayini were eager to share their creations with a global audience.
I've been showing with Fashion Forward from the very first season because, as a designer from the Middle East, I was very eager to get my products as much exposure as possible, but we never had a platform before that would enable us to do that. The brand is really about dynamic accessories for a real-life edge. And what I mean by that is that they're dynamic in different ways. So, for example, you have one of our signature pieces is what I call the cuff box. The whole concept is that it's kind of a hybrid between a jewelry piece and a handbag. And in the sense that it's dynamic, it works with you as an accessory, but it's also functional. So, you can contain your items in it. And then another form of dynamism is through these clutches, for example. It comes with an insert that you can actually remove, and you can put in a new color. So it changes. So it actually works with the woman and her outfits. Instead of restraining her, actually gives her a lot more versatility. And it comes with a strap, so you can actually wear it as a shoulder bag or you can just wear it as a clutch. Another sort of example of dynamic design comes in a sort of everyday bag where you can actually snap off the cover. So it just snaps off and then you can put a new cover. A woman can take it from day to night or from formal to informal or so. I think when people think about Middle Eastern design, they have a very predominant aesthetic that comes to mind and they only think one particular aesthetic. But the actual fact is that there's so much variety in our part of the world, you know, and so many different kind of aesthetics, from very excessive to very minimal. And I think it's great to be able to show that variety with the rest of the world.
Basically, I'm a Dubai-based designer. We're made in Dubai brand, and Fashion Forward is our platform. My aesthetic is essentially organic, and it's always inspired by nature. And this specific collection is inspired by underwater life, so hence it's called Aqua. It's inspired by the coral reefs and the reflections of light under the water. And then finally, the buried treasure, my imaginations of the buried treasure under the sea. We essentially use semi-precious stones and Swarovski crystals. I'll try to incorporate different kind of material like wood, acrylic. This necklace is again coral inspired, and the beads you can see are wooden. At the backing is always Alcantara fabric. It's an Italian material. And they look very heavy, but they're quite light because they're hand embroidered onto fabric. It's amazing how we have a collection of very different designers together. I think it's a good first step of Middle Eastern brands to be in Paris. It's a great step forward.
Krewe's a New Orleans-based eyewear company, and we're all about doing something unexpected from somewhere that no one would expect it from. And this collection was really inspired by New Orleans, that place. The fauna, the people, the music. And we had a really great time designing, or I had a really great time designing a collection from my past 20 years in the city, and really trying to get the vibe of that funky style that the people have. I mean, it's so easy with the architecture, and one of our best-selling frames, St. Louis, is so inspired by the wrought iron balconies of the French Quarter, and we continue to evolve on that through this collection. This was more inspired by the people of the city and less about the actual architecture, but you know, that funky New Orleans vibe that you get. It really starts with one line. I kind of get like an overall silhouette that I want to go with, and then it's a lot of iterations from that point forward, and we do rounds of sampling. So we'll work with our manufacturing partners to make sure that what's on paper goes into technical drawing and then becomes a reality. People are our brand, so I mean, I love the fact that everybody wears our sunglasses. Gigi, Beyonce, all of them are big fans too. And that just means a lot to me, you know? They buy into the idea of the whole crew. Crew's about representing people and doing something from somewhere unexpected. And if people understand that and can get that, that makes my job a lot easier, and it's really inspiring when people interact with the product.
You have the hunters and the gatherers, and I'm gathering. I just get all my little stuff and then find the nice structures and design with that. And within this, I want to have that pureness but luxury as well, and like the beastiness. So that's why I took Ovo as a model, because she's very expressionistic, you know, and the structures within the jewelry I have, but I wanted to bring that back on the table as well, presenting it as food. And that's why I chose for the little plates, which are all amuses. And the amuses is not made with food, but it's made with the jewelry. And one little item of nature, because I'm inspired by the nature, so I put that on the plate. But the whole thing is the jewelry, and that's as if it is eatable, you know, you want it, yeah. So now I do everything in Holland. The production is here as well. And the second collection is more actually based on Holland, and it's flourish. And I use the erosion of nature, the flowers, the trees, the pots, and use that within this collection, yeah. I love this bracelet actually, because it has the roughness, but it has like openness as well. So in a way it's like bold, but it's very classic as well. And I think with all of the jewelry, actually, you can wear it to a gala, and it looks very chic, but you can wear it with a jeans and a leather jacket, and you're really tough, and it really looks strong on you. Like it because you like it and wear it, you know, not because, you know, it's well known, but also because you like it, just because you fell in love with it and say like, oh, I want it.
The Baldinini collection this year was developed with three primary ideas. First, the 1950s, which we dedicated to Brigitte Bardot. Therefore, we have a lot of daisies. We did some spray painting in floral prints, heels with these mirror-like effects on them, where we also elaborated on the daisy theme. And overall, the look is very glossy and shiny, reflective even in the metallic colored heels. A very good example is this heel, which has a mirror effect along with the dramatic flower enameling on it, all handmade. Or we could talk about the section with the sandals that we have accessorized with metallic parts. As you can see on this piece, with layers of enameling mounted one on top of another in a mixture of colors from the Baldinini collection. The second part of the collection, on the other hand, is dedicated to lingerie looks. Therefore, there are a lot of pastel colors. There is a portion that is very sophisticated with tassels, floral prints, very soft in watercolors. There's a glossy section here too, but this time in a pastel color palette. Here is a good example, with the heel again in the reflective mirror and Art Deco designs sprayed out using the pastel color theme. The third theme is dedicated to Josephine Baker, with the theme of the Black Venus coming through, especially with the leopard prints. We even have a pocketbook with the leopard head on it, including a lot of ostrich feathers. This is a very amusing part of the collection. And then there was also a lot of macrame in brown tones, in leather colors and black tones. And of course, it is all artisanal. It is all handmade. That says everything about our collection. And here is the section dedicated to Josephine Baker, with the leather pieces and calfskin cutouts outlined with these studs to give the overall effect of luminescence in the sandal. And here we have the macrame done in a delicate crochet. All of these little pieces are stitched together, all made by hand. Of course, the high heel is always what inspires you more, but this year we have worked a lot with the low heels because we are looking to innovate all the time, and our workmanship and our materials allow us to do that and achieve a cohesive collection in the highest level, whether the heel is high or low. When you are inspired, everything is easy.
Tutto più facile.